Oh, we just ruined it right there. I should have never told you. Oh, yeah, we were getting all that conversation there. That was great. A couple of weeks ago, I guess a month or so ago, we did My Road to Recovery. Kat was out of town, and Donna and I sat down with a lot of these kids around here whose parents now work here, who are in recovery. Went through, I mean, some of the stories, I mean, you couldn't write a script. There's no way somebody could write a script and hear the stories that we've got to hear. And Donna had this idea actually of saying, hey, when we come back, you know, because we didn't have the parents here, we just had the kids with us, and we thought it would be great if we could just take a parent and take their child and converse, and it's not a matter of belittling or, you know, pissed off, you know, what, it's just a matter of, you know, what they felt and how they felt going through it, and when the time finally, and if you finally got to the time where you're full of forgiveness and it's all been let go. I mean, I was telling Kat earlier, it took me till I was 49 sitting at a kitchen table with my dad before I could ever find peace, and all it took was a simple, would you mind forgiving me? And it was the first time I'd ever got asked for forgiveness with no agenda. You know, it ain't like forgive me and let's go do this, or forgive me, let's go do that. It was a genuine sorry, and if you could find, and it was so simple to do. It was like the weight of the world was gone, and so that's why we got these two here. Kat, I'll let you do the introduction and kind of take it from there.
So this is Michael and Kylie, and so Kylie has been involved in my life a little bit for several years. Michael and I were in prison together, come home from prison, and we maintained contact. Then we opened the agency, and in between there, Michael had some issues, and she went back to some use, and Kylie's been there through every step of it. And she just reminded me of like Austin and Taylor and just all the kids, the parents, because she's seen the good and bad, and she's actually been in our sober living houses and stayed with her mom. And I was not a fan of that because I wanted her to have what she needed at home. And Michael's like, Kathy, she needs to see this. Like, she needs to know what happens here. And I was like, you're probably right. And I think that's the only reason that some of these kids are doing some things differently. And we just get in those conversations and talking. And I don't know how I would feel if I were in your shoes. I try to often think about that, and how my parenting skill changed when I come home from prison.
Right.
And so I thought it would be just a great conversation. There's kids out there that's going through this right now. There's parents out there.
Absolutely.
They're like, I don't even know how to fix this.
Yeah.
And I don't think we all do, but I think just a little more insight would be great. So yeah.
How old were you, Kylie, when she went in? Do you remember?
How old was I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my mom's been on drugs before I was even born.
Yeah.
A month during her pregnancy, but I mean, you got sober throughout the pregnancy, but I think once I was born, a couple months later, you and Dad were probably back on, wasn't you?
Yeah.
So
it was an ongoing thing
ever since
throughout.
I can remember.
Right.
So yeah.
And I went to prison whenever she was about 1 and didn't get out till she was like 4. In Head Start Head Start. I remember getting out and having to take her to Head Start the very next day, and I was like, everybody knows I just got out of prison. Like, everybody, I hate this. But I still did it, you know.
I remember, like, me and my mom's relationship between when I was little. I mean, obviously I can't remember that, but what's been brung up was, like, when I lost my first tooth, we video chat you, and I'd call my mom visiting her.
Did that seem normal to you, though, at that time period?
I mean, it felt right.
Maybe all she knew.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It felt right. But once I got older and I could understand, when Dad would sit me down and be like, you know, Mom went back to jail.
So what does that do?
That's what I was going to ask.
I was angry. I was mad. I don't care. That's all I said. I don't care.
You don't care about her? You just didn't care about the situation?
I just got up and said, I don't care. Good. Maybe she'll have something to eat tonight.
Was that a true feeling, or was that just one of those things where you just just helped appease your mind to go, I don't care?
I about called the cops on her one time just so I knew where she was laying her head. About called the cops. I was like,
do you think that
didn't hear from her for a month?
Do you think like that was different from what the other kids like that you were in school with were going through?
Yeah, I was like, nobody is going through what I'm going through right now. I was like, the world was against me. I was like, it's just me. And my mom's just like that. She's the only person that's like that. Because, you know, you go to school and you see kids and you're like, they live a perfect life.
Yeah.
Never the case.
Well, you really don't know, though. I'm not so sure if there is a perfect life, and that's one reason why we do these things, is because it seems like everything is perfect, and little do we know, just like, you know, maybe somebody didn't know what you were going through. Maybe somebody didn't know what we were going through. But So how you feel now?
I love
how is
my
life
mom.
now?
My mom's so perfect. I love her. I'm so glad she's
Watch her.
clean.
She wants the sheep
Oh,
part.
no,
She's like, Mom,
Texas
the sheep part for a
Roadhouse.
month. Yeah.
Texas
No,
Roadhouse.
seriously. No, seriously. I love my mom. I'm so glad she's clean. I feel like our relationship is really good now, and
How was it though, like in the beginning whenever she had to like parent you, not out of guilt? We were talking about that a few minutes ago. There was no parenting from guilt when the first time she looks at you and she's like, no, I'm being serious, like you're about to do this. How was that adjustment? It had to be hard.
oh, I was looking at her like she was crazy. I
I
was
bet
like,
you
I
was.
know you're not about to tell me no right now.
Yeah.
And she
Because
was
you've
like,
never told me no before.
yeah,
Right,
I was
right.
like, what changed? And she's
Yeah.
like, Kylie, I'm a mom now. I couldn't before, but I'm your mom.
That's
Well,
a hard
she
adjustment
was
for you,
so
isn't it?
surprised.
And for a second, I was like, she just told me no.
And here's the thing, I would have to tell her, like, Kylie, see this face? This is my
Yes,
serious.
my serious
Yeah.
face.
This is my serious face. We
Yeah.
ain't playing no more. You're not going.
My mom's not a
laugh and
gentle
joke
parent.
Yeah.
with me. We're done with that.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna listen right now. And it took probably about 6 months before she perfected it. She's like, all right, I'll do that then. And
then you did
without
it.
the back talk.
Yeah.
Like, I would get all kinds of back talk, but I mean,
I'd be like, why
ask-
couldn't you do it? Why don't you do the dishes?
Yeah.
And now I'm just like,
Kyle, you just said she wasn't a gentle parent, and the other side of that is probably why she wasn't a gentle
Yeah.
parent is because she didn't want you to live the same kind of life that she had lived.
well,
And
I wasn't the easiest kid as
She was a
I
bad
was
little kid
younger.
sometimes.
She
but-
said she was a bad little kid
oh
sometimes.
yeah,
She
Yeah.
was.
you said that so nice too.
I know, very nice.
Yeah, I've never
hood
whipped
ratchet.
her my whole entire
no,
life.
she never laid a hand on
I've
me.
been too scared to do it. I don't whip. I'm not a violent person. I'm just not.
She'd be like, I'll take that phone. I'm like, I'm
I'll
done.
take the phone now.
I'm done.
I'll take the car. But I've had to take the car one time, and she's had it for probably 8 months.
She took it for 30 minutes.
She took it for 30 Down, Mom,
Yeah.
down. Don't let those
Easy,
kids crazy
Mike.
up in here,
because
man.
well, I told her to do her laundry. She don't listen. I'll tell her 3 times, and that's all she gets. I'll give her the hey, do your laundry. I'll give her remember to do your laundry. The third one,
Kylie, throw laundry in.
do your laundry, and then if she doesn't, I'm like, give me the keys. But I never get there but one time.
Good.
You know, it's crazy.
So Kylie, you got a question. So there's got to be some kids out there and parents that are feeling this right now. They've been in this situation currently. What would make me as a parent know that it's okay to discipline my kid? Because like we all do. When I come home from prison, I was scared to death to tell Austin no, stop, quit, or don't. Like, because he hadn't been mad at me yet, and I was waiting for it to happen. So at what point, or do you think it's just individualized that you're like, listen, like this is you got to be the parent?
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're being her kid's friend all over again, because usually people with addiction don't pay too much attention. You know what I mean? Like, go do what you want, get out of my house, kind of.
Oh yeah.
So I think honestly, like you have to, when you come home and you really want this and you want a better relationship with your family, your friends, your kid, like all that, you have to sit down and you got to remember, like I'm still their mom, even though it doesn't feel right for me to discipline because I haven't been here. You can't be their friend.
Yeah.
You still got to discipline. So I think like what my mom did was right. Like
Having a
I barely
conversation.
get in trouble, and if I do, it's laundry. Like if that's what
But
my trouble
Austin's
is.
like, Mom, a water bottle in the bedroom. Really?
Yeah.
Is that what we're
Yeah.
doing about this?
Yeah.
You know, so
You wanna shut
so-
me down over
exactly
that?
over
Yeah.
a water
Yeah.
bottle. So it's just important because I know there's some parents out there right now. They're white knuckling it. They don't know what they're going to do. They want these kids back and they want to be in their lives, and they're afraid to parent from true care and concern. Sounds like you guys have a pretty responsible relationship, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well-
Like you sit down and laid some road rules, and you're like this, and then so you've taught her some stuff about boundaries. Like our parents didn't teach us. Like, well, I didn't get that. I don't know if
Oh,
you did
no.
or not, but
No.
we just didn't talk about feelings or anything like that in our family. So
I had to. I couldn't tell her. I had to show her more.
Yeah.
Show her that
Yeah.
I'm serious. Show her. Now listen. Now she can pick a bad apple out of my friends. No, she'll be like, that one you shouldn't go.
I can
places
tell
with."
from my way. We actually just had a conversation with this. I had to butt in because we had a conversation with us. I said, Mom, months ago. That's not the one. It's not the one. You don't need to hang out with her. You don't need to talk to her. I promise you. That you think that's your friend, but it's not.
Do you listen to her?
And
here
I
to
do
use-
listen to her.
She
I-
learned from it this time.
I love this.
She
This is
didn't
like
listen.
great.
She didn't listen, but she learned, and that's okay. We can learn.
See, this is like so. But what I think is amazing is everything I'm hearing is things that we've learned in treatment and therapy and the 12-step programs.
Yeah.
Like this is what we've learned, and
I
it's like
handed
when
it
you
to
put
her.
it, you gave it to her. Man, I wish somebody would have given it to me.
I feel like I discipline her.
Do you? When you know what you're,
I'm like,
you know,
Mom,
she wants
9
you,
o'clock.
Yeah,
Come on.
9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Time to
but
go
you don't
home.
put
You got work in the
laundry-
morning.
Yeah, do the laundry,
She
Mom.
called me at 8 o'clock last night, like, "Hey, are you coming home tonight?" I'm like, "It's freaking 8 o'clock." Yeah, I am.
On a Sunday, you know, important
daylight
things fall on
outside.
Monday.
Sunday. She
Like
said
it's
that.
All
on
right,
Sunday.
in closing this thing up, I got to ask you, Michael, how does that make you feel now, knowing the forgiveness, knowing the giddiness I see between y'all? I mean, it's got to be just a wonderful feeling, one, to have your daughter back, but two, just having that kind of relationship that you have with her.
It's the best feeling. I never thought that we would get here. It was very hard in the beginning, the making her understand that I wasn't, like, I loved her and I wanted to do fun things with her, but we got to do this stuff first,
Right.
you know, and we can't always just have a great time. Like, we got to work and then we can have a good time. Then we got to work on things and then we can have a great time. So seeing her catch on to things and notice things that she wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't a drug addict has created our bond. I don't know, a bond that I never thought that I would have with this kid. Like, I thought it was always gonna be, I was her friend, I was bro. You know, I mean, I was bro.
I'll never
And I
forget. I'll
thought-
just share one little thing. I'll never forget whenever you guys decided she was coming to live with you. And I remember us having that conversation. I'm like, is this what you're really doing, Michael? Like, we're not going to involve her back into the life and then something's going to fall apart, something's going to happen. And she wanted to be with you full time. And I'll never forget that. I just remember sitting in my car crying in my driveway because I remember dreaming about that with you and talking about it, and it was real.
Definitely.
And then you were able to put that into action, and then to see it today is amazing. And I just think it gives a lot of people hope. It's great.
When
I
my
remember talking to her and telling her, like, she's got her dad's got money, she's got her own room. I was moving into a 1-bedroom apartment, and she wanted to live with me. And it was just, I was like, why? I can't
Waterworks.
understand it.
Yeah. Because it was just, I mean, there was just a lot of conversation because the first bed for her was the couch.
Yes.
And because you didn't have enough rooms, bedrooms.
Hey, I
and
love
she-
that couch.
I know, girl.
I
me too.
made it.
But the thing is like, to know that, and if there's any parent out there that is dealing with this right now, I want you to know that it's totally possible.
It's
Don't
possible.
think that those relationships are ruined
Oh,
because
no.
of things that we've done. You guys are just a breath of fresh air and inspiration, and I absolutely love it. And I can just, it's great to see that you're handing down the good parts of recovery.
I could sit here and just watch them talk
I could
and
too.
aggravate
Oh, I
and
know.
give
We
each
say-
other. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It's great.
everything that I've taught to her since, I've learned from Kat and Dottie and your whole family. I learn more every day. Like, I try not to be as selfish, because when I first came in, I was really, really selfish. Even though I could do everything else good, I was selfish. And I learned that really giving back, like what's been given to me from them, is really what keeps it going and going and going. And I'll never stop doing that. And now she won't either. I know she
I
won't.
love to get back.
That's right.
I really do.
Yeah, we're
I
going
love
to go ahead and end it
I know,
now.
that's
Yeah,
right.
take my glasses
Thank
off.
you.
All right, we love both of y'all.
Yes,
Good
thanks.
job.
Thanks.
Y'all hang with us.